Today we get another Samurai class guide and review from Legend of the Five Rings RPG. This time we're headed to the core rulebook and we're talking the Caillou Engineer. The Caillou family schools of Crab Clan put out and train some of the best engineers and craftsmen in all of Rokugan. The Caillou Engineer is a bushi and artisan type school, a combat engineer that lives up to its name fairly well. Its school ability allows them to be more effective with equipment that they've personally crafted, which I suppose means you could craft crafting tools to make them even better at crafting. This also, of course, would include weapons, and if your GM allows you to craft at least some of your starting equipment, might I suggest considering a ranged weapon, seeing as they are fairly well suited for ranged combat. They can level up martial arts ranged as a curriculum skill a decent amount of time, though not every rank of your curriculum, so plan around that. The good news is we get all three ranged katas in our curriculum at one point or another, and two of them are fairly early, so this is one of those hybridable classes where you can easily front load half of what they're good at, and then just focus on the other half for most of the rest of your journey. Speaking of front loading, you should really do whatever you can to get your smithing score up. You'll be expected to be the crafter repairer of the group, but every use of the smithing skill calls for a different ring. Repairing is earth. Water, fire, and air are all used in crafting, and void helps you discern spiritual qualities about an item. You can't be great at all of the rings, so you'll want that smithing skill as high as possible, as early as possible, to more easily fill your role as the smith. Now, 5-2's ring build would certainly be great for this school. It's too bad you're stuck with a 3 in earth and 2 in fire no matter what you do. On the one hand, this is kind of a good thing because both of those contribute to your health, and a combat engineer should be pretty robust. On the other hand, we need a 1, and that is hard to pick. Void helps you identify magic items while also being responsible for ring level up caps. It can be really annoying if that's 1. Water feels kind of redundant to a crafter because you can use fire in its place as long as you're crafting with raw materials. However, most RPG parties tend to run into equipment and loot more often than ore, which is what water uses to craft stuff, to remake stuff basically. So it at least feels like water will be used to craft more often, or needed to be used to craft more often, I should say. But on the other hand, it's bad to strip equipment from dead bodies, or even to handle dead bodies if you're a samurai in this universe. But on the other hand, I love striking as water for any archer. Just staying at a safe distance and pelting enemy with armor debuffing arrows sounds great. And there's a decent amount of water techniques in the curriculum, a combat technique and a bunch of shuji. Feels like they really want me to have at least a 2 in water, and water shuji involve gift giving, and you can smith some gifts together. Samurai like getting swords and armor as gifts. It seems like a good fit, thematically at the very least. I'd still probably make water my 1 though. As far as family, it's really hard not to recommend Caillou. It's the only way of getting 2 free ranks in smithing, although Hida is really useful as well. The skill ranks you get from there will really help with your tactical assessment technique, which gives you a way to help out the team during initiative roll. Each type of encounter uses a different initiative skill, and Hida provides a free rank in 2 of the ones you will likely use the most if you're a combat smith. Another role you could focus on is talking. You got plenty of shuji in your curriculum to help you with that. Though there's a decent amount of fire and earth shuji that deal with combat in some way, so you can get a few of those and still be very much a combat engineer, just talking during combat to manipulate combat in different ways. You just have more tools in your tool bag for the combat engineer thing. And finally, it's important to make note of the 1 ninja technique we get in our curriculum. Remember, you can only get that when you're in that particular rank, but if you buy yourself out of the rank, you buy yourself out of being able to buy that particular technique. So buy it while you're there.